I'm going to explain exactly what's happening, why modern women have become capable of this level of betrayal while simultaneously positioning themselves as the injured party. This isn't about hating women or being misogynistic. This is about understanding the social programming, the evolutionary psychology, and the systemic changes that have created this disaster. Because until you understand why this is happening, you'll keep being blindsided by it, keep losing everything to it, keep wondering how someone who claimed to love you could destroy everything so easily and walk away without looking back. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Women have always had the capacity for this behaviour. The only difference between your grandmother's generation and today is that your grandmother was constrained by consequences. She lived in a world where female infidelity was punished, where divorce meant social death, where a woman's survival depended on maintaining her reputation and her marriage. Those constraints weren't arbitrary cruelty. They were society's way of maintaining stable families, ensuring paternal investment in children, and preserving the structures that allowed civilization to develop. Women are naturally polygamous, just like men. This shocks people because we've been fed the lie that women are naturally monogamous, naturally faithful, naturally devoted to one partner. Nonsense. Humans are polygamous creatures. We're not swans who mate for life. We're primates who evolved the capacity to form multiple pair bonds throughout our lives. The difference is that male polygamy and female polygamy have vastly different consequences for family stability and social order. When a man strays but maintains his family, provides resources, protects his offspring, the family unit remains intact. His infidelity, while painful, doesn't necessarily destroy the economic and social foundation of the family. But when a woman strays, it introduces doubt about paternity, disrupts male investment in offspring, and historically led to the complete dissolution of the family unit. That's why every successful civilization developed strict controls on female sexuality, while being relatively tolerant of male infidelity. Not because of hatred for women, but because of practical recognition of what destroys families and what doesn't. But then came feminism. Not the quest for equal rights, but the demand for equal outcomes without equal consequences. Women demanded all the freedoms men had without any of the responsibilities. They wanted the right to sleep around without being called sluts. They wanted the right to divorce without losing social status. They wanted the right to destroy their families without facing judgment, and society in its infinite stupidity gave them everything they demanded. The floodgates opened. Suddenly, women could indulge every desire, every whim, every passing attraction without consequence. The social shame that kept destructive behaviour in check evaporated. The legal system reformed to protect women from the consequences of their choices. The culture celebrated female promiscuity as empowerment, and women, freed from all constraints, revealed what they had always been capable of. Levels of cruelty, dishonesty and betrayal that make male infidelity look like child's play in comparison. Look at what women value now. Not loyalty, not family, not commitment. They value options, excitement, resources they didn't earn. Modern women have been programmed to see relationships as temporary resource extraction operations. They pair with men for what they can get. Money, status, emotional support, children. Then when they've extracted what they want or found a better option, they leave. And the system supports them completely. They get the house, the kids, the monthly payments, while the man who built it all gets nothing but bills and limited visitation. The social programming runs deep. Every women's magazine, every female-focused TV show, every feminist talking point reinforces the same message. You deserve better. You deserve more. If you're not completely satisfied, leave. Your happiness is more important than your commitments. Women are literally programmed to be perpetually dissatisfied, to always be looking for the upgrade, to view their current partner as a stepping stone to something better. And the fellow traveller effect has been weaponized. Women are told that casual sex with strangers is where they'll find real pleasure, real freedom, real self-expression. That the routine sex with their husband is boring and unfulfilling, but anonymous encounters are liberating and empowering. They're encouraged to separate emotional intimacy from physical intimacy, to compartmentalize their sexuality, to maintain a faithful facade while pursuing satisfaction elsewhere. The manipulation tactics are masterful. A woman will ration sex with her husband, keeping him perpetually hungry, perpetually pursuing, perpetually insecure. She'll make him feel guilty for wanting her, shame him for his desires, train him to be grateful for scraps of affection. Meanwhile, she's giving everything freely to random men she meets online, in bars, at work. The husband begging for intimacy once a month while she's having wild encounters with strangers multiple times a week. When caught, women never accept responsibility. It's always the man's fault. You didn't pay enough attention to me. You worked too much. You didn't make me feel special. You drove me to it. The rationalization machine kicks into overdrive, transforming her betrayal into his failure. She cheated, but somehow he's the one apologizing, trying harder, buying gifts, planning vacations, desperately trying to win back someone who was never really his. The virgin myth needs to die too. Men think marrying a virgin protects them from this behavior. Wrong. Virgins are actually more likely to cheat later because they have an unclosed gestalt. Society tells them they missed out, that they need to experience variety, that they settled too early. The virgin wife becomes obsessed with what she missed, and eventually she'll act on that obsession. Women who've already had multiple partners have at least partially satisfied that curiosity. Virgins have it all ahead of them. The economic dynamics make everything worse. When a woman doesn't contribute financially to the family, she has nothing to lose in divorce. She's been living off male resources her entire marriage. Divorce doesn't mean losing her income. It means continuing to receive male resources without having to pretend to love him anymore. She gets freedom plus financial support. He gets loneliness plus financial obligation. Think about what money represents. It's not just paper or numbers in an account. It's crystallized life force. Years of education, decades of work, thousands of hours of effort, stress, sacrifice, risk-taking, relationship building. When a man loses half or more in divorce, he's not losing money. He's losing years of his life transferred to someone who betrayed him. And she feels entitled to it because society tells her she gave him the best years of her life by simply existing in his presence. The children become weapons. Women know that courts will give them custody almost automatically. They know that threatening to take the children away gives them ultimate power. They know that a man will tolerate almost anything rather than lose access to his kids. So they cheat, they abuse, they destroy, knowing that the threat of taking the children will keep him in line, keep him paying, keep him accepting the unacceptable. And when she finally decides to leave, because it's almost always her decision, she's already got the narrative prepared. She's the victim. She was unhappy for years. She tried so hard. He didn't meet her needs. He was emotionally unavailable. He was controlling. He was abusive. None of it needs to be true. The mere accusation is enough. Society will believe her, support her, celebrate her courage in leaving. The man she leaves is destroyed not just financially, but psychologically. He genuinely loved her. He genuinely tried to make her happy. He genuinely believed they were building something together. Finding out it was all a lie, that she was capable of such betrayal while playing the victim, breaks something fundamental in his understanding of reality. He questions everything, his judgment, his worth, his entire worldview. Meanwhile, she's already moved on, probably had someone lined up before she left. Women don't leave one branch until they've got hold of another. The monkey branching behavior is instinctive. She needs to ensure continuous resource flow, continuous emotional support, continuous validation. The gap between relationships is minimal because she can't tolerate being alone, can't tolerate not having someone to extract value from. The backup men, the orbiters she kept around during the marriage, immediately get promoted. The friend she swore you didn't need to worry about, the coworker who was just being nice, the ex she hadn't talked to in years, they were all being maintained as options. She was hedging her bets throughout your entire relationship, keeping multiple men on the hook in case she decided to trade up. Social media accelerates everything. She can advertise her availability while still married. She can collect validation from hundreds of men while you're at work. She can maintain emotional affairs with multiple people simultaneously. She can explore her options, test the market, secure her next relationship, all while you think everything is fine. The digital realm gives her access to unlimited alternatives and unlimited validation. The female support network reinforces every destructive impulse. Her friends, her mother, her sisters, they'll all tell her she deserves better. They'll share their own stories of trading up. They'll compete to see who can extract the most resources from men while giving the least in return. They'll celebrate her infidelity as self-discovery and her divorce as liberation. No one will tell her she's wrong. No one will hold her accountable. The therapy industrial complex makes it worse. Therapists, especially female therapists, validate every female complaint while pathologizing male needs. She goes to therapy and hears that her cheating was really about unmet needs, that her desire to divorce is really about personal growth, that destroying her family is really about finding herself. The therapist never mentions responsibility, commitment, or the welfare of children. It's all about her feelings, her desires, her journey of self-discovery. Men are told to forgive and forget. She made a mistake. Everyone deserves a second chance. Think about the children. Don't throw away your marriage over one indiscretion. But forgiving female infidelity is the worst thing you can do. It signals weakness. It confirms her contempt for you. It tells her she can do anything without consequences. The woman who cheats and gets forgiven doesn't become grateful. She becomes disgusted by your lack of backbone. The double standard is breathtaking. When a man cheats, he loses everything: house, children, money, reputation, social standing. He's branded as a cheater forever. He's the villain in every retelling of the story. But when a woman cheats, she's exploring her sexuality, finding herself, escaping an unfulfilling marriage. She keeps everything and gains sympathy. She's the hero of her own story of liberation. The education system plays its part too. Girls are taught from kindergarten that they're special, that they deserve everything, that their feelings are paramount. They're never taught duty, responsibility, or sacrifice. They're never taught that commitments matter more than emotions. They're never taught that families require work, compromise, and sometimes staying when you'd rather leave. Instead, they're taught that their happiness is the only metric that matters. The legal system is completely rigged. No-fault divorce means she can destroy the marriage for any reason, or no reason, and still take half of everything. Alimony means she gets paid for failing at marriage. Child support calculated as a percentage of income means she's incentivized to leave the highest earner she can find. The entire structure rewards women for breaking their commitments and punishes men for trusting them. The culture of instant gratification makes it worse. Why work on a marriage when you can swipe right and find someone new? Why address problems when you can just leave? Why be satisfied with what you have when social media shows you what you could have? The abundance mindset created by dating apps and social media makes every woman think she has unlimited options, that there's always someone better just a message away. Men's response to all this has been pathetic. Instead of demanding accountability, they make excuses for female behaviour. Instead of refusing to participate in a rigged game, they double down on trying to win it. Instead of walking away from disrespectful women, they try harder to please them. The simping, the white knighting, the desperate attempts to be good enough. It all just reinforces female contempt and encourages worse behaviour. The solution isn't to accept this new normal. The solution isn't to become okay with being cheated on, divorced and destroyed. The solution is to recognise that the entire system is rigged against you and respond accordingly. Don't marry. Don't cohabitate. Don't combine finances. Don't have children within the legal system. Protect yourself at every level because society won't protect you from female nature unleashed. If you're already married, implement strict boundaries, complete financial transparency, no separate social media, no nights out without you, no male friends, no contact with exes. Any violation means immediate consequences, not negotiations, not discussions, not counselling, consequences. She either respects the boundaries or she's gone, and if she's gone, she leaves with nothing. Document everything. Every red flag, every suspicious behaviour, every violation of trust. Build your case quietly and systematically. When the divorce comes, and it probably will, you need ammunition. You need leverage. You need to be prepared for war because that's what modern divorce is. War where only one side knows they're fighting until it's too late. The marriage contract needs complete reformation. Prenuptials that actually protect men. Infidelity clauses with real teeth. Automatic paternal custody in cases of female adultery, equal financial responsibility regardless of income, no alimony for anyone ever, child support calculated on actual costs, not percentage of income. Make divorce painful for women and watch how quickly they rediscover commitment. But even with all precautions, the risk remains massive. Modern women have been programmed for betrayal, incentivized to destroy families, rewarded for breaking commitments. They've been told that their feelings matter more than their responsibilities, that their desires matter more than their duties, that their happiness matters more than their children's stability. This programming runs deep and can activate at any moment. destroying everything you've built together. The virgin you marry thinking she's safe will develop retroactive FOMO and decide she needs to explore. The career woman you marry thinking she's independent will quit her job and become dependent the moment she's legally entitled to your resources. The sweet girl you marry thinking she's different will absorb the cultural programming and become exactly like all the others. There are no safe bets in this game. The saddest part is that women are destroying their own futures with this behavior. They're making themselves unmarriageable, making men unwilling to commit, making real partnership impossible. They're creating generations of broken children who'll repeat their dysfunctional patterns. They're demolishing the very institution that gave them security and status for thousands of years. And for what? For the temporary thrill of strange dick and the false promise of something better that never materializes. The generational damage compounds with each cycle. Children who grow up watching their mothers cheat and leave, watching their fathers get destroyed despite doing everything right, internalize these toxic patterns. Boys learn that commitment leads to devastation. Girls learn that betrayal leads to reward. Both learn that marriage is a battlefield where someone wins and someone loses, rather than a partnership where both can thrive. The rise of female-dominated parenting makes everything worse. When women get default custody, they raise children without meaningful male influence. Sons grow up without understanding masculinity, without learning male values like honor, loyalty, and keeping your word. Daughters grow up without seeing how a good man acts, without learning what to value in a partner beyond his utility. Single mothers, bitter from their failed relationships, poison their children against their fathers and against the very concept of lasting partnership. Female coaches and influencers amplify the destruction. They tell women that anything less than constant butterflies means you're settling. They promote the idea that a woman should have a roster of men serving different purposes. One for emotional support, one for financial support, one for sexual satisfaction, one for social status. They normalize cheating as exploring your options and divorce as choosing yourself. They've turned relationship destruction into a business model profiting from the chaos they create. The biological clock manipulation is particularly cruel. Women spend their 20s and early 30s riding the carousel, extracting resources from beta males while having sex with alpha males, believing they have unlimited time and options. Then suddenly, fertility becomes urgent. They panic marry the best provider they can find, have children quickly, then once their biological imperative is satisfied, they realize they're not attracted to the man they used for reproduction. So they cheat, divorce, take the kids and resources, and try to find the alpha they always wanted. Except now, they're older, with baggage, and the alphas they desire want younger women without children. The technology that was supposed to bring us closer has made betrayal effortless. Dating apps in her pocket mean she's always one swipe away from validation, attention, and alternatives. Instagram provides unlimited male attention and the illusion of unlimited options. Facebook reconnects her with old flames who remember her at her youngest and most beautiful. LinkedIn lets her conduct emotional affairs under the guise of professional networking. Every platform becomes a tool for betrayal, and every notification becomes a dopamine hit reinforcing that she deserves more, better, different. The complete absence of consequences has created moral anarchy. A woman can destroy multiple families, traumatize multiple sets of children, extract resources from multiple men, and society still treats her as a victim who was on a journey of self-discovery. There's no social shame, no legal punishment, no financial penalty. In fact, she's often rewarded with sympathy, support, and resources. When bad behavior is rewarded and good behavior is punished, only fools choose good behavior. By the time they realize what they've lost, it's too late. The men they destroyed have either rebuilt without them or been broken beyond repair. The children they traumatized don't trust them. The families they abandoned don't want them back. They end up alone with their cats and their wine and their bitter stories about how all men are trash, never acknowledging that they're the ones who chose trash behavior. This is why women cheat and still file for divorce first. Because they can. Because they're rewarded for it. Because society has removed all constraints on female behavior while maintaining all constraints on male response. Because the legal system guarantees they'll profit from their betrayal. Because the culture celebrates their destruction as empowerment. Because they've been programmed to see commitment as oppression and betrayal as self-actualization. Understanding this doesn't make it easier to accept, but it does make it easier to protect yourself. You're not dealing with the women of your grandfather's generation. You're dealing with weaponized female nature, unleashed and encouraged to destroy everything in its path. Your only defense is to refuse to play the game, refuse to give them the power to destroy you, refuse to believe that this time will be different. The women who cheat and file for divorce aren't anomalies. They're not bad apples. They're products of a system designed to create exactly this outcome. A system that profits from male destruction and female chaos. A system that needs broken families to create dependent consumers. A system that fears stable, strong, multi-generational families because such families don't need the system. Every institution that should protect families instead promotes their destruction. Schools teach girls that marriage is oppression. Media glorifies female promiscuity. Courts reward women for leaving. Therapists validate every destructive impulse. Social networks provide unlimited alternatives. Dating apps make replacement dick available instantly. The entire structure of modern society is designed to make female betrayal not just possible, but probable. And men keep walking into the meat grinder thinking their situation will be different, thinking she's not like that, thinking love will conquer all, thinking if they just try hard enough, provide enough, sacrifice enough, she'll appreciate it and stay loyal. But appreciation and loyalty aren't in the programming anymore. They've been replaced with entitlement and opportunism. This is the reality. This is what you're up against. Not just an individual woman who might betray you, but an entire civilization that encourages, rewards, and celebrates that betrayal. You can either accept this reality and protect yourself accordingly, or you can keep believing in fairy tales and keep getting destroyed. The choice is yours, but don't say you weren't warned. The women filing for divorce after cheating aren't confused or conflicted. They're executing a strategy they've been taught since childhood. Maximize resource extraction, minimize investment, always be looking for better options, never be satisfied, prioritize feelings over commitments, and when it all falls apart, play the victim and take everything. It's not personal, it's programming. And until the programming changes or the incentives change, the behavior will continue. The ultimate tragedy is that everybody loses in this system. Men lose their families, their resources, their children, their faith in love itself. Women lose their ability to pair bond, their chance at lasting happiness, their children's respect. Children lose stable homes, positive role models, their chance at learning healthy relationship dynamics. Society loses strong families, stable communities, the foundation of civilization itself. But the machine keeps churning, keeps destroying, because destruction is profitable and stability is not. This is the world we've created. A world where the most fundamental building block of civilization, the family, has been turned into a temporary resource extraction operation, where the person most likely to destroy your life is the one you marry, where loving someone completely is the fastest path to complete destruction, where being a good man, a faithful husband, a providing father marks you as a target for exploitation, rather than a partner worthy of loyalty. The solution requires radical change at every level, but that change isn't coming. The system profits too much from the current chaos. Lawyers profit from divorce. Therapists profit from the damage. The state profits from broken families who need its services. Media profits from drama and dysfunction. No one with power has any incentive to fix this, and everyone with incentive has no power.